Hi, in this video I'm going to introduce the git bisect command specifically for the Linux kernel. This video assumes you have used the Git software archive before, but if you haven't used it before, a short introduction is this. Git is a software source code archive. It allows many people to work on a software project simultaneously, allowing people to work on individual components of a large program without stepping on the toes of others. It keeps each person's contributions separate from all the others and can allow pieces of all of their contribution to be rolled or joined in to the project, and if it works, kept. But if it doesn't, it can easily be rolled back. It can also join specific portions of their project, but not all of it, and again easily be rolled back. An important aspect of this is finding if a very large project has a bug that someone has tripped over. This is what git bisect is for. If most people find that the project is working okay, but someone has found something that doesn't work okay, what you can do is check out a piece of the source tree, check out the entire source tree, and declare the entire piece, the entire tree to be bad. And then declare a previous working tag to be good. And then what you can do is bisect all of the patches between the two, splitting the patches in half each time you bisect until you find the patch that was bad. Okay, so how git bisect works is it works like a binary search, not on an array but actually on a binary search tree, but I'll show you a binary search on an array just to show you how it works. So here I have an array of about 3,000 items, and you can see it starts with a green 0 at the beginning and a red 0 at the end, and all of the status that's going on is at the top. The end is at 3,000, the start is at 1. The target is this yellow, which is listed here at 111, and it's searching at 1500, and it's the middle of between 3000 and 1, so it's searching at 1500, and it's search number 1. And if it finds it where it's searching right here, then it stops. But if it doesn't find it, what happens is it throws half the tree away every single time. So if you've got 3,000 pieces to start off with, if it doesn't find it where it's looking for, it'll ask if it on the top half or on the bottom half. If it's on the top half, it chucks the top. If it's where it's looking for is on the bottom half, it'll chuck the top half of the tree away, because all of the items here are in sequence, they're in an order, and it just splits it in half. So if you start off with 3,000 items, as soon as I press a key, it'll change so that this red 0 is no longer at item 3000. The 0 is now at 1500, which is shown here. And the first target is the original starting point is still at 1, but now our search spot is right here at 750. So out of 3000 items, we've already gotten rid of half. If we search again, it'll ask, is it on this spot? No. Is it higher or lower? And again, this is where we're searching. Where our target is over here. So again, it's going to chuck the top half of this, what's left away. And this red dot is going to be over here, and it'll compute the middle between the start and the end again for the new end. Just like this. And so our search space is again cut in half. We now have 749 items. We started with 3,000, then we were at 1,400, and now we're at 750 or 749. Again, it's searching at 111, which is right here. The target is still 111, which is over here. So again, we're searching too high. It's going to toss the top half of the tree away. And this is what we've got left. It's now searching right here at, 188. Right here, which is still too high. 188 is bigger than 111. So again, it's going to move the red dot over here, and it's going to toss the top half of the tree away. And now it's recalculated from beginning to end is now the middle, whereas where it's searching, and it's at 94 right here. 94 is too small. We're at 111. So this time it's going to toss the bottom half of the tree away, and it does. And so now your green starting point is right here. It's no longer at the 1, and your start is at 94. You're searching right here at 141, and that's too big. So again, like so many in the first rounds, the red dot is going to move over here because we're going to chuck the top half of the tree away, just like that. And so now we're searching at what is that, 117. 117 is right here. Our search target is still 111 over here. So it's going to, again, toss the top half of the tree away. It's going to move the red dot from here to here. And our search space now is cut down to 23 items. Our target is still 111. We're searching at 105 over here, which is now too small, so it's going to toss the bottom half of the tree away. So our start is right here, and the green dot is going to move to right here. And now we're searching at 111. This is where our target is, and so I press it again. If I hit return again, it's going to say, okay, that's the end of the search because we found it. So out of 3,000 items, it found what we're looking for in 9 searches. And this is how a binary tree works, in case you were wondering. So you can subdivide the problem each time you're cutting the problem in half. So in a kernel bisect, like what we're doing ultimately, you can find it by the log of the number of items that you need to go through. And in the kernel source that I was looking at, I had roughly, I think it was something like 30,000 patches, and so the log to base 2 of 30,000 is somewhere right around about, I think it's 11 and something, and you round that up to 12, you can find whatever you're looking for in 12 searches. So what that ultimately means is you have to build 12 kernels and find out if they boot or not, and if they do, you can type something kernel bisect good. If they don't work, you type kernel bisect bad, and it knows to toss either the top half of the tree away or the bottom half of the tree away, but you can find out in fairly short order exactly where the problem is, exactly which patch caused the kernel to crash. Okay, so I'm going to show you how a git bisect actually works. And what you do is you start off by first getting a new kernel tree, and that's what I've done here. And then you start by typing git bisect start, and then actually there's my tree, git bisect start, and then you type in git bisect and then a known good tag, a new good version, and type good, and then type in a known bad version and type just like this, a known tag that you know is bad. And what it'll do is it'll start bisecting the tree. And basically it's kind of like what you saw in the array, except that in this case it's a patch tree, and but it basically does the same thing. It finds the middle, and it says, okay, I'm going to split the difference between 611 and 610. I'll find the middle, half the patches. And in this case, it looks like there were around 7,076 revisions. And what you do is you head the make file in your source tree, and that's what your kernel build is going to be. You always build in this tree, and then you reboot once you've built that new kernel, and you see if it runs. If it'll boot, then you type git bisect good. If it doesn't work, you type git bisect, I'll start from the beginning, git bisect bad. Just like that. And it'll know to lob off either the top half or the bottom half of the tree. And then what you do after that is, let's try git bisect bad, for example. It'll do the bisection, and then you head the make file again and see what it is. And it looks like it's the same, 6.10.0. It looks the same as the last time, but it's changed a whole bunch of the tree. And so what you do is recompile this tree and then try and reboot this kernel version and see if it works. And if it does, type, let's try git, let's assume it worked. Type git bisect good, and then again it splits the patch tree in half, because the last time it had 3,572 revisions and this time it was only 1,876. And then you head the make file again, recompile this kernel, and in this case some of the changes included changing the name of the source tree. So this one is 6.10 release candidate 3. That's the kernel that you're going to compile, and then boot. Make sure you pick that in your bootloader, and then just keep doing this. If it works, type git bisect good. If it doesn't work, type git bisect bad, and it'll just keep subdividing the patch tree in half until you get to the patch that broke the kernel. And it's going to get better as time goes on, because what happens is if in the source tree it's already compiled most of it and there's only a little tiny piece left, it's smart when it's compiling, it'll only recompile stuff that's changed. And so your kernel compiles will get faster and faster as you go on, because if it's only changing a little tiny piece, then it'll only compile a little tiny bit, and your kernel compile is going to go a lot faster. So anyway, that's how git bisect works. If you want to replay at any time what's happened, you can type git bisect log, and once you've gone through all of this, at this point I've gone through some of the steps, but it looks like I've got about 11 more steps, so that would mean 11 more kernels to build before you actually got down to 1. But when you're finally done, you can type git bisect log, and or even at any time like now, and it'll tell you exactly what you did and what all of the bisects were. You can redirect this to a file and then post it onto kernel.org, and somebody will fix it for you. Okay, there's just a couple of things left that I'd like to mention. First of all, if you want to see all of the bisections and the log that's happened to the git bisect, you can just type git bisect log and it'll give you a rundown of exactly what happened. And it'll replay everything that you did, where it started, and what was good and what was bad and all of that. And you can redirect that to a text file if you want. Also, one more thing is, if you did type git bisect bad at one particular point, how did you get to git bisect bad if the kernel didn't build, if it didn't boot properly? Well, what you do is you just pick a kernel that does build or does work properly. In case the one that I typed, what I was just default to was the one that was the good kernel originally, Linux 6.10, and I was default back to that one. Okay, and that one I knew was working okay. So out of my bootloader, I would just pick that one, or any working kernel, but that will get you back to this source tree that you can then type git bisect bad and saying, okay, that the last kernel that we tried before we got to this working one, the one we tried didn't work, and so and it doesn't matter which, it doesn't have to be the kernel that you're using to tell it that's the bad one. So anyway, that's how you just get back to that. And hopefully this lets you know how to use git bisect if you're ever asked. In my case, it was a video drivers that would just crash out the kernel right off the bat, right off boot, and there was no way to dig it out of log files or anything else. So anyway, that's how you git bisect if you've never done that kind of thing before and you were always wondering. Thanks for watching. Thank you for watching my video. If you liked it, please click on the like and subscribe buttons just below. I really appreciate it. Also, if you want to be notified of when my next video drops, click on the bell. I'll see you in the next video.